is Promotional Media. I'm Andrew. I'm here with Red Eye Gorilla.
Yes,
Could you
sir.
give us an introduction of who you are and where we can find you?
We have two stores located on Waters Avenue. One's 320 West Waters Avenue. The other one's 2919 West Waters Avenue. Our main store, which is the 2919, is specialized in clothing. We're a clothing brand. We design our own clothes. This is my son brand right here. He's 8 years old, but this is his brand.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, we design our own clothes. We model our own. We get other models to model our clothes. We've done plenty of fashion shows. So at that location, you'll find most of the clothing items and shoes. And then at the 320 West Waters Avenue location, you'll find more smoke shop stuff. But we blend the clothes everywhere.
That's cool. All right. Yeah. So if we could, we'll get into just kind of like your past. A little bit where you grew up, um, were your parents around? What kind of student were you? Extra curricular activity after school, stuff like that. I'll reiterate as we go forward, but start with where you were born, parents, school, stuff like that.
So I was born in Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay.
Then I stayed a lot of my life in Fort Myers. Then I moved to Naples. Lived a lot of my life in Naples, Zone 6. Golden Gate, Florida. Went to Golden Gate High School and then went back to Fort Myers. Finished at East Lee County High School. I didn't grow up with my father, but my mom, she was there the whole way. Every step of the way. I ended up
It's
going.
You're starting, you're roboting a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
What part cut off on?
really, it was just right at midway, man. Like, yeah,
So let's
a
start.
lot.
Now I reset. So pretty much, I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. I moved to Naples, Florida, at some point in my life. Went to
Yeah, you're roboting bad now. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Uh, while we're doing that, if anybody wants to hit the like, subscribe, share it out, that'd be much appreciated. We're gonna go forward with this many interviews to come. Got big people, man. Like we got some big names that are coming. It's exciting times right now. I do appreciate all the support. Thank you.
all right. It's still robot.
Nope, sounding good now, man.
But I had to connect to a different Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir. So we'll just get to. I guess we'll go with you know, elementary type stuff really isn't, not a lot of action goes on there for most people. So if there wasn't
Right.
much to really talk about, middle school and into high school, that's where, um, people start developing their own path there. So what were you doing around that time? School wise, you good student, and then after school activities, stuff like that.
School wise, I was a very smart student. I was always smart. I was kind of one of the popular kids and stuff. So I made sure, like if we had a lesson, I learned that lesson, made sure I knew what I was doing. But I mean, then I'm copying homework, whatever I can do. But when that test came around, I made sure I knew the materials. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, middle school, I was always a good student. Now, as far as behavior, I was like kind of a class clown. I was getting a little bit of trouble, not too much. I ain't getting too much trouble until I got to high school. High school, I guess I started acting out because I stopped playing basketball. Basketball was a big part of my life. Between middle school, high school, I guess I couldn't play my senior year, so I started, getting into bad things. All kids jump into the bad thing. So smoking stuff like that, but I ain't started smoking and stuff till probably like 16 or 17. So it was probably later than most people.
Yeah, people
Other than
people
that,
these days start a little early. That's for sure, man.
yeah, I know a lot of people. They'll tell me, they're like, man, I started like 15, 14. I'm like, no, I was playing basketball my whole life. I was trying to be in the NBA, man. I couldn't even afford to smoke.
My grandma smoked my first joint with me on my 9th birthday.
See, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that
But
is
no,
crazy.
my mom, when I first started smoking, my mom was like, I'd rather do it here at home with me rather than in the streets and something can happen and
Good.
all that kind of. So they was pretty, they welcomed it.
Yeah, I my grandma was diabetic, so my mom used to hide the snacks, and I would go and steal the snacks when she was gone and kind of trade them for cigarettes and weed. So
That's real.
that's how that came out of her necessity for wanting sweets, you know. So but when you were doing that, you still were able to maintain good grades though, even though you were kind of being rambunctious.
Yeah, definitely. I made it a point to learn the material. I know my dad at a young age, before he went to jail. I know he used to tell me all the time. He used to tell me, make sure he's like, you can be lazy and copy people work and all that, but make sure you know all the material for when that test come around. So I made sure I went out, and it wasn't too hard for me. I mean, I think I catch on to stuff pretty quick. So I mean, I had like college algebra in high school, so
Okay.
I caught on to stuff pretty quick.
I say math is a pretty important thing to know in life. I think that math
Yeah.
is probably one of the biggest things that can really translate into the world.
Right.
For at least these days on how school's taught, which school's a joke now, man. They don't. I think that all the important lessons are thrown out the window, and now we're just dumping our kids full of just crap. It
Right.
really, I think back in the day, might have still been elective, man, but I do believe that like they had the basic automotive, basic repairs, even with small plumbing things. I just remember seeing that type of, I guess in shows too, but I remember seeing that type of mentality with the older generation is that they came out of the school or out of school with the knowledge of at least being able to semi function in life, change your tire and stuff like that.
Right.
Nowadays, dude, kids don't even know how to use a can opener. They look at that and it's this space age object because it has no digital capacity. Like, what button do you push? There's no button.
Exactly. Exactly.
You got to use this button right here.
I feel like it's a gift and a curse. I feel like it's too easy to cheat now. Like if I was in school these days, man, I use chat GPT on everything. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So these
What
days, and then I can YouTube anything I want. You can, like, these days it's way easier to get through school or cheat, I guess. Versus back in the
facts?
day. But I guess it's changed with time.
They don't even consider that cheating anymore, looking it up like that.
Right.
It's
Right.
weird, dude. It's
I
weird.
know back when I was in school, you was blessed to even get to use a calculator. You know?
Right. Right, yeah. What, I mean, I guess we probably don't give a care too much about that. Oh, I almost dropped the F bomb. What age are you? How old are you?
I'm 31.
You're 31. Okay, we're 10
Yeah, I'm
years
31.
difference on that. Still, that was still semi-structured in the schooling system though, man. It was a little bit they were still doing stuff back then, it seemed. So yeah, those days, man, you get caught with that, dude, you can get expelled. Nowadays you can Google everything and they're all good with it. Um, yeah, so when you were out of school, what kind of activities were you getting into when you were smoking and stuff? Or you were what were you
Um,
doing?
so when I was before I was smoking, so pretty much I ain't start smoking till like the end of my school career. It wasn't nothing crazy. Like during school, I was mainly it was basketball every day. I played AAU basketball. I played for the high school basketball. Anytime I could play basketball, I played. If I like, I'll walk to the community center after school. We'll all play basketball. Then we'll go to the little park when that shut down and play more basketball. It was straight basketball. So yeah, I didn't get into
Basketball?
too much after that. Yeah, basketball was life.
What was the next step after you were out of that, getting into, I guess the business that you are now? It's a
So
pretty
getting
big
out of
gap.
that, yeah, that's a huge gap. So after that, I graduated, went to college in Tallahassee, and really I didn't even want to go. I had some friends. I ain't planning on going to college at all. I had some friends, pretty much. They was all supposed to go to Tallahassee. They was like, "Hey, come with us," and I was like, "For what?" They was like, "Well, they'll pay you to go to school. You can get a grant." I was like, sound like a good idea. So I got the grant, did all the paperwork, got out there to Tallahassee. Those friends didn't even show up. It was crazy. So I was out there by myself.
Oh no,
Yeah.
dude, for real?
Yeah, they didn't
What?
even come. One went to Ohio, one stayed back in Fort Myers. It was crazy. But
That's that's terrible, man.
yeah, man, they they made me who I am today though. It's all right. But now I went out there to Tallahassee. I stayed there for a few years, and then I finished up at HCC. I came to Tampa and finished up
That's cool. What were you going to college for?
business administration.
Business administration. I'm sure you use some of that knowledge today, don't you?
Definitely, definitely. I remember
Uh,
I had a partner in college, to be honest, in my business class, and he was a millionaire already, and he used to sit next to me every day, and I used to ask him, I'm like, bro, you a millionaire? Why you sitting next to me in class trying to learn this? He was like, man, you can always get better. He was like, I want to better my business, get better in life, at everything. He want to be the best he can be, pretty much, and that kind of rubbed off on me. So I feel like anything I can learn towards my business, I try to, no matter what.
I like that. That's 100% true too. Any opportunity to try and hone into the skill of, I mean, really anything. I know so much stuff in so many different fields. I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm like a novelist or whatever in so many different fields. It's good to know a little bit about everything.
Right.
More than everything in one thing. Kind of limits your path. Um, so what were you planning on doing with the college that you were going to? Did you have a business plan? Was it this business
No,
or
I didn't have a plan at all. I remember when I first got to Tampa, my uncle asked me the same question. Shout out Juice, he's my producer. Well, he produces my artist music now. So shout out Juice, OJ. But he asked me what I want to do. I was like, man, to be honest, I want to either start I can't say the word on here, but a certain type of store that army people use, and then or I wanted to start a shoe store. So those was my two options at the time. I was just I just wanted to finish school or get through business. I know where I come from. A lot of people don't finish school, so I just wanted to, be one of those people.
I
But
think you could say, and you just to be clear, you were saying gun shop basically, right?
right,
I
right, I
think
was a gun shop.
yeah, I think I'm sitting there. I'm pretty sure it's just TikTok with that, but I did
Right.
say thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, just to be clear, I just wanted everybody to know. So that was your plan, either gun shop or shoe store.
Right.
Was
So
it
a gun shop
custom
was shoe
shoes?
store. Really, I
Like
didn't
in
know.
okay,
I didn't know what kind. I was just in the shoes a lot. I couldn't afford too many at the time, but I love shoes at the time. I wanted to somehow get retail deals. And then so I didn't want to do the reselling thing. I want to get retail, get with a company or something, and like Nike send me shoes and I can sell them from there. But as I did my research, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that. I think you got to sell like $100,000 worth of shoes before they even consider you. Yeah, to do it.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, and then you
How
got
do
to
you
do it
so?
like
I mean, what you'd have to buy? How do you even get it wholesale? Then you'd
so.
have to
So
go
pretty
into
much they'll give you the shoes retail. Well, you got to have certain credentials, but when you get
right.
past that, they're gonna give you the shoes retail, and then you have 3 months to sell $100,000 worth of those shoes to prove yourself, and then the next 3 months you got to sell a little more, and then they'll solidify the contract with
That's
you. Yeah,
unless you
it's
have
not
how does somebody even start something like that? That's insane.
right, right. So I mean, you got to have a big following behind you, I guess, to start like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering like how did the companies do that before? Like Nike is their bread and butter, yet I mean, did they start off with Nike? They came in there like, yeah, man, I sold a bunch of these.
Right,
How do you sell out that much product, man, and being just on the ground floor, having like one store? How do you'd have to already have multiple stores ready to go?
right. Or
That's
just have the money to buy yourself out and just lie to
sure.
Nike.
That's smart. Yeah, well, I mean, if you were that desperate to get Nike's business on there, man, that's
Right.
crazy. Yeah, I could see where that would be kind of a deterrent for that path specifically.
Yeah,
So
I
why
mean,
didn't you go ahead?
it worked out at the end. I own a shoe store now, so that's 2919 West Waters Avenue. That would be my shoe store, Red Eye Apparel Shop. But we're doing resale, so we're not doing the whole retail thing. We didn't get the contract with Nike. We reselling shoes, but we're getting a lot of exclusive shoes that other people can't get. So I'm blessed to be able to do that.
You know who Lil Six is?
No, I never heard of him.
Um, he's a awesome, fantastic artist. He's really into shoes too. He'd be doing some like reselling stuff on his page. You know who Brother Lynch is?
I heard of him, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
his.
him personally, but I have heard
Yeah,
of him.
yeah, yeah. No worries. It's his nephew.
Okay, bet.
So, but yeah, that dude, man, he's like very much into shoes as well. Um, so was that why? Okay, so you had the two paths. You didn't go down the gun shop, obviously. Um, why not that? And how long did it take you to get into the shoe side?
Um, Really, I just go which way the wind blow me. I guess. I ain't gonna do the gun thing because it's just my life was really just falling into this shoe thing. Once I did the apparel, and then I started doing fashion shows and start like pretty much one opportunity came with the next opportunity, and then I just ended up there. So I ain't really pursue the gun thing too much. I put it that way. I ain't pursue it as much as I should have. I just stayed with the shoes, stayed with the clothing. It's a lot easier. I don't need certain licenses. I ain't have to go through the government to approve people, all that kind of stuff.
How long did it take you to get into the business? Like right out of college, how long until you had your own
Oh
go at
man,
it?
uh, a long time. To be honest, it was opportunity. It was just opportunity. When I first got out of college, I moved back to Fort Myers first. I was working at KFC in Converse. I was working at a shoe store. I was working Converse is like the little brother to Nike, the same company, but you know, off brand. So
Right,
I was
right.
working for Converse, and then I had at time I was with my girlfriend at the time, my ex. But I was with my girl at the time, and she ended up getting a good opportunity working at Tampa General. So she ended up moving to Tampa General before me, and I stayed in Fort Myers. She got a little money up, got an apartment, and then I moved up to Tampa to stay with her. So really, she's the reason I'm here. Once I got here, I worked at KFC a little more. Then I went to an appliance company, became the manager of that appliance company. Then I went to Coca Cola in a moving company, but I hated that. But I went to Coca Cola, became the manager or supervisor at Coca Cola, and then from there I was like, you know what, I want to start my own business. Oh, COVID hit. So when COVID hit, my grandma died. They kind of didn't want to like I was like the
Um,
number one worker. I worked hard as hell, took off days and all that. Then when she died, they wouldn't give me what is it called? Like the grievance time that you get
sure.
when your loved one died. So they
Yeah.
wouldn't give me that because I guess it was like we're too busy. And then COVID was hitting, it was hitting everywhere. So I got mad and quit. So when I got mad and quit, I started the Red Eye Gorillas brand, and then we just took off from there. I made one
Uh,
shirt, people liked that one shirt, and we made more.
did did your grandma pass because of COVID,
Um,
or was it unrelated?
I want to say it's like so she passed when COVID first started before they knew what COVID was. So I really want to say she died from the COVID before they actually knew what it was and stuff like that. But she was old too. It could have been old age and all that kind of stuff.
I got you. Yeah, dude. Sorry for your loss too, man. That's terrible. You know, it
No, I
really
appreciate it.
is. Um, so some people that hit and it completely demolished the business, but in some way it kind of opened up the door for some opportunity for
Oh,
you.
oh yeah, definitely,
You
definitely.
got
COVID.
you got your focus on and got your grind down, and boom, you know, like you said, one shirt. It was it like just the one shirt that took off, and then you were able to start expanding.
Well, when I started the one shirt, pretty much I had just a lot of like the shirt was just for me to wear. I didn't really even try to sell them. I just got one for me for my brand. A lot of people was giving me compliments on the shirt, telling me they liked the shirt. So eventually, I made mass production of that one shirt. Everybody they sold out. So then we made a red shirt because that shirt was started black. We made a red one, made a white one. Those sold out. So we just kept making shirts. After
That's
that,
cool.
I started selling the shirts at a shoe convention, and that gave
Okay.
me an idea. And then that same day, I bought somebody whole table, their whole collection. I was like, we're gonna start selling shoes today. So and then we started selling shoes, and we went from there.
What was the first design that you did?
The first design,
Yeah.
it'll be the original design. So it'll be that red eye design right there.
That's
and
awesome too.
then
I
you
like
know,
I
my
like that
son
a
is
lot.
on. Yeah.
I think that's so cool, man. I like that a lot. I think that that's man, the artwork is great. I love the idea and the you're married into the smoke business as well, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we can't do nothing without the smoke business because we so big in the smoke business. So even like I open an apparel shop, we have to have a smoke shop in there because if somebody even see me on the street, they know that's Red Eye. He's known for smoke and all that kind of stuff. So it really took off, and then my name and the support that I got behind me and everybody helping me out, it really blew the name up. So now Red Eye pretty much a big name in Tampa just for smoke stuff. So we got to keep that around.
Do you know who Vigilant MMA is?
Who?
Vigilant MMA.
Good. I feel like I heard of them before.
That's a company I work for, Brandon, the owner. We're just
Yeah.
small time MMA fighting platform. We do boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, bare knuckle boxing, MMA. Like we got you know who Second Chances, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's got like 4 of our belts, dude. He's great man. That guy is fantastic. He's such a beast, like for real. And have you heard of the Ronin?
No, I
Mark
haven't heard of him.
Wallace, Malcolm Wallace. Dude, I think he's like number 2 or number 3 right now, maybe in the country. He's from the Inferno gym. Man, that dude he's going to be the top very soon. But all
Oh,
these are Tampa boys. That's where Vigilance based out of is out there in Fort Myers. We
oh,
go
bet.
to yeah, we go uh Bernie Davis, Sydney and Bernie Davis Art Center.
Yeah.
We put our shows out there sometimes. Anyway, great company. If anybody likes MMA, anybody's into fighting too, you could always hit me up on Instagram. We can get you into the cage.
Oh, bet. So
Period.
speaking of the MMA, I was really into all the MMA. My son's into it. He love it. We actually sponsor MMA fighters. So
Awesome.
they not professional right now. We have Alex Cook. He's about to fight July 11th, I believe. Don't quote me on it though. I'm gonna go ahead and post it on the IG. You know, if everybody want to see the fight. But Alex Cook, he one of my boxers. He's a beast. And he knock people out left and right. And then we got
That's
Big
cool.
Mike, and Big Mike was the first MMA fighter I ever sponsored. And I love Big Mike. He a wonderful man. But actually, so he done got some shorts made for us. We sponsored him. He got us right here on the shorts. He done signed it for us and everything.
I like
So
I
we got to
like
get this print.
those.
Yeah.
That's I like them. That's nice. That dude, well, right now, kind of going, I think, where I was, where I can bring that to what you were saying or what we were talking about with COVID. So that actually killed us in the pro side. We were pro platform and we had to bump down. It's really just a money thing, you know, status and money on that. But now we're amateur at the moment. So yeah, we can't really platform pros at the moment. But we're
Okay.
trying to get back up there, you know, we just need our status back up. It costs a lot of money to put these things on these events. We rent the venue, we pull the cage in a trailer. I've built that thing like 5, 6 times, you know, a couple of them with just me and 2 other guys, the entire cage. It's rough, man. So it takes a lot to to get to get it, you know. So just saying though, any amateur man, anybody wants that opportunity, I can guarantee them into the cage 100%, man. So
Bet.
yeah,
Well,
we'll talk after, dude, for sure, man.
yeah,
If
definitely. We got to do
interested.
something together, man.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, anybody, you know, we all if you go to the show, man, we got you on the tickets to VIP for sure up
Oh,
on the
definitely.
cage.
Nah, we love watching. My son love watching it too. So any and every show, let me know. We probably gonna be there. So we can make it. We're gonna be there.
Absolutely. That's cool, man. Awesome. Um, so getting into buying the table, is that where was the start of the company? Like, what year did you actually say, you know what, this is the LLC, or
So I got an
whatever? This
LC
is
on my birthday, 2020. Yeah, 2020. September 29th, 2020 is when I LLC Red Eye Gorillas. That's when we officially started. Then the following year is when we opened up our first store for Red Eye Gorillas, and that was in the flea market. So it wasn't even a storefront. It was the Tampa Mall. So we opened up a little booth in the flea market, and that was, like I said, everything's opportunity. So I went there just looking to buy their inventory to just hold for a while, just for me to think about starting, where I wanted to start. And when I got there, the guy was like, "Hey, we actually thinking about leaving the whole shop, so you can have the whole shop and start here." I was like, "Hey, I don't got to go store this stuff nowhere. I can just leave it here. We can start here." So we started there. From there, it got bigger. We opened up a storefront outside. We ended up Actually, we opened up a hookah lounge first. Our partner opened up a hookah lounge. We turned that hookah lounge into the storefront, and then we went back to the flea market to have two stores. Then something crazy happened where all the electricity went out for like 3 months, 4 months, or something like that. So we got out,
That's
and then we
crazy.
opened that second storefront. Yeah,
How
it
how
was.
does how does it go out for that long? That's a very long time.
Right. They could. Well, I guess they wasn't up to code in a certain thing, so the fire department kind of shut down. I guess I don't know the details, but they shut down the electricity, so it was in there with no heat, no, no AC. It's hot as hell. It was crazy.
That's man, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so yeah, peace, gotta go.
Right.
Um, when man, hit the ground running. That's actually that trying to kind of get where I'm wanting to go here with it. So brick and mortars opened. Um, was the first products that's shirts or was it shoes
Um.
only?
So when we first opened the Red Eye Smoke Shop, that was strictly,
Oh
or in the
yeah,
flea market. Yeah, that was strictly smoke
I
shop
got you. I
stuff.
actually
Yeah, we didn't
I
have
remember
clothing.
where. Sorry, I remember where I was wanting to go with it. I brain fart. So when you're in or you own a smoke shop, does that give you like dispensary type qualities too? Can you dispense things, or do you have to get a separate license for that?
So yeah, you definitely need a separate license. To even sell hemp, you need a hemp license. To get into all that
Especially
stuff, you
out in
need.
Florida.
Right. They license every single thing. You need a tobacco license. You need a resale license. You need a hemp license. To get in dispensary work, you got to move up to that. Eventually, and you got to be approved to get the dispensary license. So you just got to go through a lot of approvals, paperwork, and stuff just to do it all. But nothing's impossible. You sit down and do it, it'll get done.
And you have those, correct?
Yeah.
Did when they were trying to, and I think, did they succeed for a minute outlawing hemp in Florida for a little bit there? I know they were
Um.
fighting.
So it's still in the middle of a fight right now, to be honest. But even with the hemp license, I stay away from hemp. Period. Even having that, I stay away from hemp and CBD just because I don't want any extra stuff going. Because that's like pretty much a gray area right now in the laws with Florida is the hemp, the CBD, and all that. That's how they try to
But
get you.
weed's good.
But
Like,
right, right.
weed's good. The hemp and CBD now do now I when I've heard this, I don't understand why the hemp and CBD is bad, but weed is good. What
It's
are
a money
what
thing. It's
because
just the big companies. It's the
they
big
couldn't tax it
companies.
enough.
Right, exactly. So they trying to make sure they make money and the little people don't. So they're trying to make laws and regulations for hemp and CBD. But it's all a money grab.
Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. I am Vigilant MMA. We are affiliated with it's a veteran ran hemp dispensary called Battle Buds.
Oh,
And
I know Battle Buzz. We used to do shows with Battle Buzz. Shout out to Battle Buzz.
oh, cool. Yeah, that's what's up. So, yeah, 1600 Marine and Chief, great. That's our family over there. They're really good people. And this is where I heard the fight for that, and they've been on the forefront trying
Oh yeah,
to,
definitely.
yeah, trying to fight this and they're continuing on with the fight. I didn't know I've seen them still not protesting, petitioning things, but I didn't really know that it was still such a fight, man. I thought that we were gaining some ground there, but I guess not.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a probably fight for like the next year. I'll put it that way.
That sucks. That sucks. Um, so I guess kind of getting into your business a little bit now, the business that you have, do you have local growers that you deal with, or is this like certified people from out of state? Like, how do you
It's
get your product?
mainly out of state, California, Oregon, stuff like that. Um, be honest, a lot of like the name got so big that a lot of people reach out to me now. They'll fly from New Jersey, California. Anyway, actually, we have jetpacks and Cali Plug coming out today. They flying out now. I think jetpacks land at like 6 o'clock. So, we have a lot of big names from around the country. I guess recognizing the name.
That's pretty. That's yeah. That's pretty big. When businesses start to reach out to you to get your
Oh,
product, that's when you know, like, you've made it,
right,
like, you're getting up
right.
there.
I wouldn't say I made it, but
Well,
I'm
yeah,
trying
no,
to.
y now your status works for you. Instead of you working for your status and trying to just put the grind on, doesn't mean you have to stop pushing and being persistent, but it just means now your name is kinda working for you instead of you working for your name.
Exactly.
That's yeah, that's good. That's big move. The only reason why I'm in a position that I'm in is because I knew some people while I was out there catching the demons online before my first channel was deleted, and my I was able to establish who I was because they knew me at that, and then I got canceled, and it's like now I'm kind of scrambling to figure out what I'm gonna do with with society, So with that, how do you think society is being ran right now? Are you proud? Are you kind of one of the people that just want it better? You
Society,
going
as
down the
in
drain? Go ahead.
you mean like as in which way the world's going, which way?
Any of it. In your mind, I asked that question, in your mind, what is that? It's, you to
Yeah, I
interpret.
mean, I believe in evolution. I believe everything gets better, whether it's the NBA, whether it's sports, whether it's like through our kids, how they got tab. Like I didn't have or work a tablet when I was 3 years old. My son can work a tablet. He could have worked a tablet when he was born. You know,
Right.
so like he learned. My son learned stuff fast as hell just because of YouTube, because of the access they have to everything. So I feel like it's going in a good way, even though a lot of people is going to always say it's negative. Even when it comes to like stuff like racism, feel like of course it's not gone, but it's always getting better. I can never look at the world and say it's not improving. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I just believe in it's improving.
in that way, I would somewhat agree. Well, I mean, yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. I think that there's still a lot of hate in the world, and I think it's disguised
Right.
as the old stuff, of being
Definitely.
racist. But I think you're just a jerk. I don't
Right.
even know. Yeah, I don't even know if like you qualify as that. You're just an a hole.
Right.
So
Exactly.
um, yeah, I do. I think that I feel like we are kind of throwing our kids to the grinder, not allowing them to learn some of the hard lessons that we had to learn, growing up.
Definitely that.
Kind of what you were saying too about give and a take. I remember when I was first in pest control. I've been doing it like 19 years, but when I was first in it, I used to route my day with the map book. I used to look at that, see the map, and know where I'm going. And I could be like, yeah, there we go. Like, navigate my way through the world.
Right.
Now, man, I can't even go less than a mile from my house without GPS,
Right. Right.
and
That's
it's
how I
a
am.
hundred percent because of the access to the unlimited information, including you don't even need to know where you're going. Just let this thing tell you where you're going.
Right.
I do think that does us a little bit of a disservice in that way, but I'm converting a school bus into a tiny home, and because of YouTube, I have been able to kind of learn from a lot of people's mistakes or at least their successes on some of them, so I didn't have to make the mistakes that they
Right.
made before they were successful in that. So, yeah, that give and take, it's kinda like I really don't know which one's better, you know? I love the
Right.
access to all that information though immediately because it makes me seem smart, you know, smarter than I am. And all I have to do is look it up and learn it, and then, you know, you're that guy that knows it as well. But yeah, that I do think that it makes life too easy for people, for sure.
No, yeah, definitely.
Do you think
It do make
character,
like
do you think character comes from hard times? A person's character, you know?
I used to believe that. I really used to believe that. Um, but I ain't gonna lie, it was like a post on Instagram that made me change my viewpoint on that. Cause it's
Oh, was it?
like if I did have money, if I was born with wealth and money and stuff, am I supposed to like pretty much? I don't believe you can only learn character from struggling. That got to be like a broke person mind frame because you're not gonna only learn how to succeed in life or a certain character because you struggle. There's plenty of people that was born with money that can learn the aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? So I
Oh,
believe it's just in it each individual person. It's not about where you came from or what like it can be somebody who go through the same a brother and sister go through the same thing. One can grow up to be a cop, one can grow up to be a drug dealer. It's just how they took it.
true, like for real too. Now, I like that point only because we are the people of our own opportunities. Like
Right.
you see your opportunity, you take it. You know,
Right.
being an opportunist is it's not an easy trait to develop because you got to know when to grab it. You got to know when it's a false opportunity, something that's just going to drag you down. You know, it is kind of difficult to know the middle ground. You know, where you're going to get your best shot, foot
Right.
forward, first foot forward. And yeah, you can sink or you can swim. You can be from an abusive home and turn out to be Mother Teresa, or you can be, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Right.
It kind of determines on how you process that information. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily have to be your fault too on how you process it. Sometimes malnutrition from a very early age actually diminishes a lot of our capabilities of growth later on in life, whether it be physical or mental. So yeah, I do think though we are all subject to the opportunities we grab or let go for sure. Um, all right, well, I know you were busy and we started a little later than you wanted to on that. So I'll kind of just get to a wrap up if that's okay. And then I
Yeah, I
would
mean
love
I got till about 3 o'clock, 3:15, so you know it's up to you.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, no worries. That's cool. So all right, what was your when you opened up the shop, when did you get it when did you turn it into a smoke shop as well? When it wasn't just
So
your
when we did the
shirt.
partnership, we did I partnered with he's one of the old vendors, Pressure Pusher. A lot of people know him. But we partnered and the issue was it was a hookah lounge. So the issue was when you partner with somebody, you got to make double the money in order to make that profit. So we're both putting in money, putting in a lot of money, but we're not making double the money to feed everybody. So we had to make a decision. One of us had to pretty much just gonna shut down
Excuse me.
both, like just shut it down completely. But he pretty much like, hey, buy me out. So for $20,000, I had to buy him out. You know, uh, but once I bought him out, we stopped the whole hookah lounge thing and we turned it into strictly the apparel shop. And then we already had a smoke shop section in there because it was a hookah lounge.
Um, when you were getting into the weed side of it, have you ever been to like the grow sites, the places that you're getting your products from? Have you ever visited them to
Yeah,
see what they're doing?
I've been invited to them. I've been people flew like I said, people fly out to me, bring me samples, a lot, really anything. But I have been out there at least 3 to 4 different grow sites. Been in California twice, Colorado, and then there's a Florida one that I've been to.
Um, what type of quality, which it seems I would only assume just because you seem the type of person that has standards. So what type of quality are they pushing out there, man? Are they treating the plants right?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. If I get them, anything I get, it has to be quality because of the name. I can't have, and then we always have a return policy, all kinds of stuff like that. So you don't want 1,000 people coming back to you like, "Hey,
You
this
have
sucks."
return policy on smoke?
We definitely do. Yeah,
For
exchange,
real?
return, bring it back. Hey, you don't like it, bring it back. You
Does
know.
anybody else do that? I've just never heard of it, so I don't know. Does
Nah,
anybody
they
else
they
do that?
they don't. Well, I can't say nobody do it. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know it's not a usual thing. People don't usually
I've
do it.
yeah, I have never heard it, but me personally, being from Missouri, I mean, our grow license is now it runs 3 years, and I think it's less than $100, man. You get a 3-year license, so uh, I didn't have to go to a dispensary for years. Actually,
Right.
the only time I really went to a dispensary is when I had to drive all the way to Colorado in my like maybe early 30s or late 20s and then drive back to St. Louis
Yeah.
without the product because crossing state lines is illegal. I'm just saying I had to
Right.
visit them anyway.
Right.
But
Right.
anyway, yeah, so that those were fun though, to go into those dispensaries like that, man. Um these days it just you kind of you don't know. I've seen a lot of them getting busted from people that weren't really having high quality things. They were getting it from people who using pesticides. Like
Yeah.
they thought that they weren't going to get tested on certain things, and people came in there and found out that whatever they were doing wasn't right, and they got shut down. So I really didn't know what's the qualifications to have a dispensary. Like what. So yeah, it is a question. Then do they come and test your stuff at all, or is it only the people that send it to you that get tested?
People that
How
send
does
it to you
that work?
mostly, and then when you first start, they do a huge test. Like when you first open up the business, period, to even get a POS system, you have to send in samples, send in labels, send in a whole bunch of stuff just to get approved to do any of that stuff. So, but as far as them coming to test, Eric, no, they don't come test every I mean, every so often, stuff like that. No.
What was your strongest strand?
When it comes to that kind of stuff, I never, I don't really speak on it like that because I've been in this too long, and I understand that everybody has their own niche. Like everybody got their
Well,
own thing that
flavor.
they do. Right. So I can have stuff that's the highest that I've ever had, that I feel the highest I've ever had, and somebody come to me and be like, "Hey, man, this is trash. Like, can you go get that other stuff again?" The other stuff to me was probably trash, but that's why I keep so many different flavors, so many different products.
All right. So 2 questions then. 1, what would be your favorite? And then 2, what is your, like, hottest seller at the shop?
My favorite strand is forbidden fruit. I just
Me
love the
too.
smell of it. Well, Jack Harrier and forbidden fruit. The Jack Harrier is a unique smell that you will always know that strand. Nobody can fake it. Nobody can lie
Yeah, I
about the
think that
name.
it used to be the most rare,
Yeah,
strain, I believe it used to be, and it won Cannabis Cup, like, way back in the day consistently for a while, I think, uh, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, though, but I do remember that that one was up there.
yeah. But
That was like a high status, strand for sure. So
yeah, no,
anyway,
that's
forbidden
definitely one
fruit.
of my favorites. And then the other one's forbidden fruit. Yeah, forbidden fruit is definitely my favorite.
So what's the hottest selling one, at least right
Gelato,
now?
gelatos, runts, anything that has the name gelato or runts in it, they hottest selling.
My favorite would be, Blue Daydream. Love
Oh
it.
yeah,
And I also that at least to me, I don't know if it actually has a distinct smell, but I know the smell. I know the smell of that specifically, period.
right,
Anytime anybody's ever brought that, I'm like, "Oh, there we go. That's there it is. That's me."
right. I
It
mean,
makes
you got
mouth
those
water.
legendary flavors too that Blue Dream. When I was growing, like it's just flavors I just never see again or find it, like Northern Lights. I never seen that since I was a kid.
Same here.
Sour Diesel, never seen that since I was a kid.
Oh, man, I
You know,
just actually a couple years back, well, probably like 4 or 5 years back, it was a oh, man, it was a sour diesel and something mixed that I got from Mephisto
yeah.
Genetics. Um, still just as
I gotta go find them,
awesome.
man. I gotta
It
go
was
find them.
so it was so good, man. I wish I could remember what the mix was though. Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, it was sour diesel was one of them. fantastic strand though. But yeah, that one's you're right. It's like non-existent. At least I haven't seen it in any dispensaries or
Right.
anything like that.
Well, the problem is these days there's no original flavors anymore. Everything is
Crossbred.
hybrid. So yeah,
Yeah.
everything's crossbred hybrid. So you never gonna find that granddaddy perk that you used to get back in the day. It's
I
always gonna be
know.
mixed with something else, you know.
For sure. You know, that's also another good one, man.
Right.
That was man, did you get hit with the drought like what 20 years back or you were probably too young on that one?
Yeah, I was
Yeah, you're
basketball.
too young on that.
Basketball.
It might have been a little less than 20 years actually. It was probably more like 15 years or 10 years back, something like that. Probably like 15 years. But it was the drought, like the whole country got hit. You know,
Oh
you
yeah,
couldn't.
no, definitely. I want to say it was like right before COVID type.
Yeah, maybe a few years though before
Yeah, it's like
COVID.
yeah, a few years right before COVID. But yeah, to be honest, anytime there was a drought, and I think that's what kept me afloat. Even when COVID came, there was like a drought at some point. But
Well,
anytime
you
there was a
had the
drought, I just
business. Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, I just kept going. To be honest, I didn't have a drought, but and that's what kept me going. Everybody else is in drought. I wasn't.
Didn't even think about it though. Of course, when you're in the industry, I was street level then. I wasn't even growing or nothing, so I didn't know anybody but the people that were out there, you know.
Right.
So we got hit because nobody was going to dispensaries, which obviously we're still kicking. You know, that's duh. Anyway, um, when uh when you started getting the smoking, you started bringing in edibles, drinks, keef drinks, stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Well, the drinks not so much. Unless like we'll have people reach out to us. They make us drinks all the time. It's just hard to move. Like we do so many shows and move around so much. It's hard to keep drinks cold or frozen and all that kind of stuff. So we not drink so much. But definitely edibles. Definitely like stuff like RSO. Um, a lot of stuff we get from like different dispensaries too. I ain't gonna say a lot, but some stuff occasionally we get from different dispensaries too. Like especially the RSO. Um, carts, those became a big thing.
Yes, they
Disposables, all
did.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, carts were huge for a minute there, man, like real big. I don't know if they are still or not, but I mean, I know that they were booming bad. Oh, I can't remember the brand. It was from California. A friend of mine's ex-boyfriend, who they were still friends, moved out to Colorado and was working for a cart dispensary. Like they were filling up the carts, you know, and shipping them
Yeah,
out. And we were getting I mean, I think it was like $4, maybe $4 per gram, on the I think we were ended up just paying or maybe it was like $10. We were just, like, paying just for the cart, like, the wax was pretty much free. We were just getting them on for cost. It was amazing, an amazing time then, and I just fell out of touch with those people, but, man, they're pretty nifty.
yeah. I mean, I don't really use them too often unless I go to like Disney World or one of the theme parks, stuff like that. That I can't actually smoke, but I'm a traditional smoker. I flower all day.
Gotcha. Um, do you always keep the forbidden fruit or jack hairs on hand for that?
No, I don't. I don't. I get them when the opportunity comes. I try not to go out my way and do stuff because like with any too much of anything, it'll kill the taste of it. Like I used to love honey buns growing up. I can't stand the honey bun now. I used to eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And now the thought of it makes you Earl.
Right. I want to throw up. Right.
Right. Um, when you're smoking, what do you smoke out of? What are you usually smoking?
Backwood, or grab a leaf.
Damn, you
Uh,
go back. That's so harsh, dude.
yeah. A lot of people say I
You're
used
a
to smoke out of
legit.
hemp.
That's a legit smoker.
No, you want to know what happened? These girls. I started talking to girls, and they smoke out of backwoods, and that's what happened.
Well, how did you know
I
what,
had
dude? That's like a man cigar. Yet, yes, I see that all the time. What is up with the women, man?
I,
They're just like,
I had to
nah,
convert.
we smoking it
I was smoking out of hemp.
hard.
They were, hemp was safe to me and all that, but nobody wanted to hit my blunt. Like, you know what? Let me go ahead and roll the backwood, and I folded.
Man, are you a smoker too? Cigarettes?
Nah, I don't. I used to
Cool.
smoke Black and Miles until I had my son. When I had my son, I was like, I don't like to smell like this, like smell like Black and Miles stink. I don't want him to get that habit. It's so unhealthy. So to be honest, the day I had him, I stopped. I quit.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, I stopped smoking, oh man, in my early 20s. I picked it back up when I became a truck driver, but then when I stopped driving over the road, then I put it back down again. But it kills your taste buds, the smell, like your ability to taste and smell, and you're walking around smelling like an ashtray, legit, you know.
Right.
It,
And then
I
you
it,
use
the,
it as an excuse all day too. Like you're like, oh, this boosts my height. Don't really boost your height, but
nah,
you swear to yourself it do.
right. Oh, I mean, I swear it does. Yeah. Oh no,
Right.
it don't. Don't lie, man. Oh, yeah. I think it's funny when people smoke and they try to spray themselves down with cologne or perfume, and you just smell like a perfumed ashtray. There's
Right.
no way that you're hiding that scent. We smell it. Trust me. You
Right.
know.
It's the most disgusting. I hated it, man. So I had to stop. Even when I smell it now, like I got some of my employees, they smoke, cigarettes and Black and Miles, but they know they can't smoke around me. They ain't even allowed to. They can't smoke that stuff in the building. If I'm outside the building, they can't smoke it within like 10 feet of me, all that kind of stuff.
What about alcohol from people's like body and breath? You know, I can't stand the smell of somebody drunk.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. So I ain't gonna
It
lie, I do drink, but I brush my teeth so often that I got diamond teeth too. But I brush my teeth at least like 3 to 5 times a day, So I make sure if I take a shot, we gonna brush my teeth now.
Right,
I don't want to smell
go
like
do that
straight
real quick,
alcohol.
you know?
Right,
I don't need to be breathing that hot air on you.
right,
I was a bouncer for, like, 5 years. Well, a door guy, I wasn't a I'm a small dude, man. Look, I had 2 years all by myself doing the door, and I was I had mace, my baton, a knife, all kinds of tools that may have needed. Men are way larger than me. A lot of men are very, very large today, and, I was really cool. I've had a couple people tell me that I was the nicest bouncer kicking them out of the establishment, you know? It's like because I try to calm them down, and when I'll beat you up, like, "Yeah, maybe, you might, I don't know," but I'll tell you this,
right,
we got cameras everywhere, and police are all down the street, so bottom line, you're going to jail, if that happens, and
right.
if it's really
And you
worth
probably
it,
got a taser and something on you right then too.
no, I've put down a couple large men. This dude broke into this chick's car and passed out, and I was trying to get him out, and he wasn't getting out, so I had to go on the other side and hang from the roof, and I was pushing him out with my feet, and when he came out, he stood up and he got all puffy on me, and I was like, "Look, man, you're in this lady's car, you need to leave." He's like, "Wow," like, and I stood back and just hit him with the mace, dude, right in his
Right.
face, man. He's like and I just belly flopped him on the ground, man. It was hilarious. And then the cops came and he got aggressive with them, and then they belly flopped him on the ground too. So it was yeah, interesting times. But the the industry of working in bars and stuff like that, smelling people when they get up on you, man, and they're
Yeah.
just like they
And they drunk and
talk
annoying, all in
in
your face.
dude, like, come on, man. It's when and then the spit starts flickering, and I'm like, all right, that's it, no more,
Right.
back off." Um, yeah, I think over those years and then watching people act a fool, I think I literally developed a distaste for that smell on
Yeah.
people, period. It just gut wrenches me, you know? Um, yeah, so when you're not working today, these days, sounds like you're kinda invested in MMA. The kiddo, is he, like, in the gym? Are you guys, doing activities? What are you doing, after hours,
Oh,
man, to chill?
my son, my whole life, he the reason why I keep going, man, every day. So whatever he asks, like we'll go to the flea market with. That's it. Like when I was growing up, I know my granddad used to take me to the flea market all the time, and it was just like we got a lemonade, some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, simple stuff. But it was like one of the best experiences of my life. So I know I make sure I take him to the flea market every so often. We go to Disney World. We've been to every theme park a few times. Um, he just likes to race. He likes to draw. I'll draw. Whatever it takes to whatever he want to do. That's pretty much what we do on my off days. And then I'm a homebody. I like to watch. I'm a movie person. I'll watch movies all day. Or I'll
Dude,
go to the movies.
me too, man. Me too. Like all the way, dude. I find it safer at home. I
Right.
usually get into stuff, man, with people. People these days suck. A person,
Yeah.
cool. You start individualizing people to a person, they're cool. You get them to people, dude, they
Yeah.
suck. They really suck, man, out here, like really, really bad, you know? And men kind of dude, they're peacocking and they're just ready to like bounce on anything that seems like an insult or aggression,
Yes.
you
I
know,
think
and
everybody's trying to prove themselves these days,
right.
and I'm big on like I shouldn't. I don't have to prove myself. Like I don't. I shouldn't have to prove I got money or prove that I'm tough or what. I don't want to be tough. You know, I shouldn't have to be
Yeah,
tough. You know.
I same man, so much so, same way. I try so hard to get myself out of violent situations, man, because I just don't wanna go there, you know, I'll go all the way if you need me to, I just
Right.
don't want to, you
Right.
know,
And yeah, that's my big thing. I'll take it there, but you don't
yeah,
want
dude,
me to. And I don't want to. You know.
what do you when you get pushed and pushed, you know, what do you do? Like, I was out, walking around on YouTube recording, you know, and I was just walking. I used to be a First Amendment auditor where I would kinda, like, watch police interact with people and stuff like that, but I started moving away from it a little bit and just kinda just walked around, and it was my therapy to talk to the people and, I was walking around this bar that I used to work at, and I was telling, you know, them a story of my friend used to he threw boxes up on the roof and he made a maggot farm in a restaurant, in a bar restaurant, a maggot farm. You know how bad you're not supposed to put maggots in a restaurant, like, dude, you know, anyway,
Yeah.
and, this lady was, karaoke and she sounded like she was choking a cat out, and so I was, like, looking at her, you know, and I was like, "This somebody needs to stop it." But I'm leaving and somebody in a car, I didn't know anybody was even in the car, this dude gets out and starts telling me to stop recording him. It's like, "I wasn't even looking at you. I didn't even know somebody was in the car, man, for you to get out and tell me to stop recording you." And he
Right.
had a vape pen in his fingers, and he's like, "I'm gonna punch this," or he said, "I'm gonna stab you in the eye with this." And I was like, "Okay, man, you back off." You know, I pushed him a couple times. I said, "Back off, dude. If you do not back off, I'm going to stab you."
Right.
And, he tried to swing at me, man. I had my knife, man, and I just brushed his hand off and I stuck him right in his bicep, dude, just in,
See,
out, you know, and
you
he's like,
messed around and
"Huh,
found out.
you stabbed me!" Like, "Yeah, dude, right, you wanted to find out how far it will go. It'll go all the way. I don't want it to." I tried so hard to get him to leave, you know, and I called the ambulance afterwards. Like,
Right.
I just
Yeah. Now
I
I'm a firm believer in self defense. Now I promise. I don't like bullying and all that kind of stuff. I'm a firm believer in self defense. So
yeah, me
hey,
too.
if you force me to have to do this to you, I have no remorse after that.
Right, you know, well, I did this was man, he was drunk, and I don't have it's weird where I sit with that, man. I what I do feel is bad that the dude pushed himself to get hurt, and I tried
Right.
so hard, to get us both out of that situation. I didn't wanna go to the police and have to make a report and all that, which thank
Right.
God the police knew me. I did actually St. Peter's dude, shout out to St. Peter's Police Department in Missouri, alright? They're one of the most professional precincts departments I've ever come across, ever, and I've come across a lot. And, they didn't even cuff me, you know? And it's like the reason why is because they were watching live because they used to watch my streams to make sure people would call on me all the time, so they would be able to tell the people that would call, like, "He's not committing a crime, leave him alone, we're watching him," you know?
Right.
So, because of that, I didn't get cuffed up, but it was just the whole situation of people, man, trying to push you to that limit these days because they think you won't do it, you know? They just like, "Nobody wants to go to jail, so you're not gonna do it," you know? "You won't do it." "Yeah, I'll push you all the way." Man, you one day you're gonna push that wrong person though, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, this is why, bottom line to all of that, why I stay home as well, man. I don't even look for trouble. It literally finds me. It just there he is. Let's go mess with that dude right now.
Right.
So
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it find me like, 'cause I don't go out my way to look for nothing, man. I try to go straight home. I go straight to work. Well, I don't stop too many times.
no, my kids also are my fuel. They're all grown now, but they were all grown. I just had a baby about almost 6 months. On the third,
Hey,
it'll be 6 months
congratulations.
ago. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's pretty exciting starting back over. I was 18 when I first had my kids, and it did shift my life into a better perspective of priorities.
Right.
And even now at 41, having a kid, it shifted me again. A whole like I thought I had priorities, and it's like I still needed a kick in the ass, to tell me, "Hey man, you're kind of still doing it wrong." Like, okay. So yeah, it's kids, man. This is why I did what I did while I was out there trying to protect as many as I could. Um, I was on I was on Grinder 30 30 minutes, and I got 26 hits, and it was a picture. If dude, I'll send you the picture on Instagram on the message. It's just me aged down. It's just me as a teenager, and
Yeah.
they're hitting on it, dude. They're like, oh, let me meet up, let me, and this was within 5 square miles of me, and I got 26 hits in 30 minutes. Disgusting. So, yeah, man, I'm a big, big believer in the movement into protecting kids. I'm a big believer in this statement. If anybody can read that statement, that is a true to heart statement.
That's real. That's real. I
And
need
this
to.
this came from Red Pill Threads. He is also an apparel um, merchant, innovator, business owner,
He
whatever.
located in Tampa.
Is he? Man, I don't know. I don't think so. Actually, no, I don't think so.
I'm gonna have to check him out. If you got a link or something, send me the link.
Yeah. Dude,
Your sound kind of went out.
sorry, I was getting. Yeah, his content is controversial. It's pretty up there. It's good though, man. It gets people to talk.
Right.
And he actually was. So I did an interview with him, and he said the reason why he doesn't put the design on the back is because he's going to make bold statements on the front, and you're going to look him in the eye to talk to him about it if that's
That's
what you
real.
want. It's all. I was at Canes the other day, and I mean, he was probably like 12 years old or something, but he kept like trying to read it. And so his grandma was standing right there. I was like, "Did you want to read it?" And so I stood there, and his grandma was looking. I was like, "Yeah, he wanted to read the shirt." And she was like, "Okay." And she liked it too. I was like, "There you go, man. Bold statement. Truer words couldn't
Right.
have been said." So, um, yeah, I just got my phone call too, man. So I actually am going to have to wrap up as well.
For
What
sure.
Do you have any upcoming events, any upcoming drops, something new that you want people to
Um.
to gravitate to?
Oh, we definitely got new clothing coming out always. Every so often, probably every month we put out new clothing. So we got new clothing coming out. We got a sneaker convention, July 27th. So if y'all want to meet us, sneaker travelers, we have a
Where's
big
that?
event. The sneaker travelers. That's gonna be at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
That's July 27th. Um, I wasn't supposed to say this yet, but we got a big event with one of y'all favorite baddies. So the baddies coming out here. We're gonna do an event with Red Eye Gorillas. Uh, Other than that, y'all have to stay tuned. We'll post it on the Instagram and keep everybody up to date.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, will you give yourself one last plug too, where they can find you, full name, all that, like, where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram, Red Eye Gorillas, or Red Eye Gorillas LLC on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Red Eye Gorillas. We do have a website. It's we working on it right now under construction, but the website will be back up. Redeyeapparel.com. Um, and yeah, we got apparel store on 2919 West Waters Avenue. We have Smoke Shop 320 West Waters Avenue, all in Tampa, Florida. Come see us.
Guys, go down there, support, show this man the appreciation for the hard work that he did, to get where he is, man. It's impressive to turn opportunity in such a terrible time, during the pandemic. So, yeah, man, you flipped the right card, and you did the right thing.
Yes, sir.
Kudos to
Oh,
that. Some people couldn't do it.
one more shout out to Smooth Youngin. That's my artist. I manage his music. He an amazing artist. Y'all go check out his music on Apple Music, Spotify. It's all platforms. Smooth Youngin and Bulk Slim. That's my childhood friend. He's not my artist. He's my friend. He's one of my best friends. He finna open up for Nino Breeze on July 4th. So y'all come see that too.
Awesome, man. Yes, dude. I love it. One last time on this, man. Thank you so much for coming on here. I very much appreciate your time and the conversation. I do hope that one day, near in the future, we can have you back on, maybe explore a little bit more into, the
Oh,
mind of you.
definitely. Actually, I'll bring my son around.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. All welcome, man, for sure. Yeah, I'll hit you up too after this, man. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you next time, man. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, man.
All right. We are, there we go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on here. I was trying to see if I can get his picture on there. Thank you so much for being on here. I again very much appreciate all your time, your support. Please hit the like, subscribe, um, see what's coming up next. It's going to be some pretty big things. I I have interview tomorrow. I have two interviews tomorrow as well. And I think I got one on the 4th coming up as well. So I'm trying to do it every Friday if I can, and then open a little bit to people who have different schedules. So yeah, again, appreciate you guys. See you next time.